Hi YouTube, today I'm going to show you or tell you guys about baby products that I regret buying. So none of these products are bad and we do use most of these products still, but it's either we don't use them for what they're made for, they're not worth the money, or we just use them because we paid for them and we, feel like we have to. So getting right into it is the Boppy nursing pillow. So a lot of people love this product and a lot of people swear by it, but personally it never was like necessary, and she actually is more uncomfortable using it than she is comfortable. So if you have or you're planning to have a C-section, I can see why it's appealing to you, because obviously you have an incision and it's gonna be like sore and tender, and you're obviously breastfeeding, so when you're like arched over it might hurt. However, if you have or planning to have a vaginal delivery, I don't think it's a must-have. So I wish I had waited until after Savannah was born and that we came home to have even considered buying one, because my hospital actually had one with disposable like covers that I was able to use there, and even there I knew like I wasn't really going to need one because she was always like latching well and I never had issues with breastfeeding. So I would say wait and see if you really need one. Yeah, the next thing is a crib mobile. So I have mine right here. I don't know if it's a mobile or a mobile, crib mobile, I don't know. So a crib mobile sounds like a car. Anyways, so I knew going into buying a crib mobile that it was something that she might not use, but I bought one anyway because I felt like it looked really cute. Now, if crib mobiles were cheap, I would say that's fine. However, they're usually not very cheap, so that's why I would say it's not worth it. It does look cute, I guess, but most babies, my baby does sleep in the crib. However, I know most babies do not sleep in the crib until they're a little bit older. So by the time they're usually that age, they're able to like grab it. So then you like really don't get any use out of it because, they're not really like using it for its purpose. The next thing is a jogger. So I bought my jogger for Savannah on Black Friday while I was pregnant, and I got a good deal out of it, which is why I guess it's like not that bad, but I regret getting it so soon. So when your baby is born, they can't really use a jogging stroller or even like a forward facing stroller for like the first 6 months. I would even say like to a year, depending on how big your baby is. So it's really unnecessary. It's also like not safe to use it, especially because one, you can't see them, but two, they aren't able to hold their head up properly. So using a stroller that is so big, like a jogging stroller or a forward facing stroller, leaves them way too much room to be like wobbling around, and it doesn't have like the proper like straps, I guess you could say, to hold them and prevent them from like sliding down. So while I know that jogging strollers are really good when you're like going out and like if you go to like Disney World or something, jogging strollers can be great, but we don't plan on using it anytime soon because she's only 3 months. So I wish I had bought it after she was born, because now it just sits there and I'm not even sure if I'm ever really going to use it because we have our regular stroller. The next thing is swaddle blankets or muslin blankets. So these are not horrible for just like lightweight blankets. That's what we use them for. She doesn't sleep with blankets, but when we go out and I know, like let's say we're going grocery shopping and I know that it's gonna be like AC and it might be cool, then I will bring them and use them. But you can also just get a lightweight blanket, which is why I say I regret buying them. I don't use them to swaddle her ever because I feel like it's a little bit like scary to me because they can get undone and suffocate her, especially because she sleeps in her crib. Also because it is really hot. If you are having a baby that is going to be born in the summer, or you live somewhere where it's generally hot most of the year, you're not gonna want to swaddle your baby in swaddle blankets. Maybe right when they're born you might be like a little bit like afraid, or you know, you want them to be cozy, so you might want to use them then. But then once like you're more comfortable, I don't think that you're ever going to use them. If you live in a place that is colder, you might use them. However, I think those like Velcro swaddles, or the Swaddle Me Swaddles, or Halo Sleep Sacks, I think all of those are a lot better. They're still warm, and you can always just like put more layers on your baby and then put that on top, and it gives you, or me at least, more of peace of mind that it's like a little bit harder for them to get undone. I've never had a situation where the swaddle has gotten undone, and that makes me feel a lot better. So swaddle blankets, if you want some as just lightweight blankets, I guess they're not like the worst thing to buy, but not for swaddling, at least in my opinion. The next thing is burp cloths. I spoke about this in my last video. Just don't buy them. Let me actually show you guys. I have right here. Just get cloth diapers. So this is a burp cloth, and you can see if I put it on my shoulder, that is how big it is, and it's very thin, as you can see. And this is actually a Gerber one, so it actually is like a very cheap one. So there are nicer ones, I will say, but this is a disposable diaper. So you can see how much bigger it is, how thick it is. There's like a middle section that is like cushiony almost. So it's obviously way more absorbent. The only thing is it's not cute, but whatever. These are awesome. I swear by these. So get these, ditch the burp cloths. That's probably the one thing that I would say like I actually regret and like would never buy again. The next thing, and this is something that I want to talk about a little bit, is pacifiers and Wubbanubs. So not every baby takes to a pacifier, so I think that it's not the best idea, especially just to buy, like, let's say you go to the store and you love like one pacifier and you think they're so cute, so you buy a ton of that kind. Your baby might hate that pacifier. So I knew that that was a risk, or not a risk, that was like possible. So I bought a bunch of different types of pacifiers, hoping that, you know, she would take to one of them. And I also got pacifiers in my registry, like welcome kits. I also got pacifiers as gifts, and the hospital will give you the Avent Soothie. And I also have a couple Wubbanubs, and Wubbanubs are also, you know, a little bit more pricey. I think they're like $15 around, maybe a little more, I don't know. So she does not take to any pacifier except one, and it's the one pacifier that came in a registry box. So I didn't even pay for that one, and every single pacifier that I did pay for, she doesn't take to it. So the Wubbanubs, she doesn't take to none of it, nothing. So what I would say is, when you make your registry, you're probably going to get a pacifier. Someone might gift you a pacifier, and at the hospital they give you the Avent Soothie. So between those 3 or more pacifiers, I think you'll be able to tell whether your baby will take to a pacifier and what type they will like. My baby personally, when I give her any other pacifier than the one she uses now, she gags. And I think that's because the one she uses now is like flat. It's the Nook Orthodontic pacifier, I believe is what it's called. And it's not like you can't like press down on it. It's already like in the shape that it would be if she was pressing down on it. So that's the only pacifier she likes, and every other pacifier she gags at. So get either different kinds, or just don't get any, and you'll know when your baby's born if they'll like it. The next thing, and the last thing I want to talk about that I regret buying, this is probably one of the bigger investments, I guess, or the bigger, more expensive pieces that I bought for her that I regret. And we did use it for some time, but I don't think it's worth the money. I know tons of people swear by this product, and people are probably still going to buy it because of all the rage, but not for me. So the DockATot. When Savannah came home from the hospital, she refused to sleep anywhere but like right next to me. So basically the first few nights, I let her sleep right next to me, and I just stared at her and didn't sleep all night because I was scared. And that's when I bought the DockATot. The DockATot, you're not supposed to sleep, like co-sleep with overnight. It's more of like a lounger, I guess. However, I would say most people use it for when their baby is sleeping. And I know like that's not allowed or whatever. It's not recommended, and it's also not recommended to put it in the crib, and I know a lot of people do that as well. I think that personally, if your baby is not able to roll over or anything, like the first like 2-3 months when they're like basically not even like able to move on their own, it's a low risk of anything happening. And the reason that a DockATot is so expensive is because all the, you know, research that has gone into the material that it's been made with and stuff. So I would say it's relatively safe for them to sleep in. So when Savannah was born and she wouldn't sleep anywhere other than next to me, I got the DockATot and she slept right next to me. And for the first like week, she still didn't really like it, but then she got used to it. And for like the first month after that, she loved it. So it was definitely, in my opinion, at the time, worth it. However, when we moved out of our last home into our new home, during the move, I realized that she doesn't really care for the DockATot anymore. Like, we always put her in there, so we assumed that she liked it, but she's really actually just a good sleeper. So now she'll sleep anywhere, and like she will literally just sleep on our bed. She will sleep, and I mean for naps, I mean. She will sleep in her crib. She will sleep on the rocker. Like she will literally sleep anywhere. So I used the DockATot for a little bit longer because I felt, you know, I bought it. Let me see if, you know, if I take it away, will she react to it? And that was kind of like my test. So I didn't put anything in the crib with her, and I just let her sleep in the crib. No DockATot, no blankets, nothing. And she slept perfectly fine. And that's when I was kind of like, okay, like, I didn't even get a month's worth of use out of this, and they're like what, like $200. It was just not worth it. If you plan on co-sleeping for a very long time, or long enough for her to, you know, like grow into it and like use it, I think it's up to like 8 months, then I can see why it's worth it, and if your baby really loves it. But I think if your baby is already a good sleeper, don't put them in a DockATot, because I know a lot of parents have trouble transitioning their babies out of DockATots. I personally still use it, and I use it in the crib only because we paid for it. However, that's the only time she sleeps in it. When she naps, she does not sleep in it because I don't want her to get like used to it and like only want to sleep in there. So yeah. Personally, I don't think it's a necessity unless you plan on co-sleeping for a long period of time. There are also cheaper alternatives. Obviously, the research that has gone into making the DockATot is what makes it so expensive. But you can definitely get cheaper ones. I also wish I had tried the Snuggle Me Organic. It looks so much more comfy in my opinion. So obviously do your own research. It's obviously your baby. So do whatever, you know, you think is right. But if you have a baby and she already comes home and is doing okay, don't buy her a DockATot, because then it's kind of like setting yourself up for more work in the future. Same thing with pacifiers. If your baby is never taken to a pacifier, that's great, because she will learn to self-soothe and it'll be one less thing to deal with in the future. So that is it for all of the products that I regret buying. Like I said, none of these products I absolutely hate. It's just that they aren't necessary. It was a waste of money. Maybe the burp cloths I hate a little bit, but it is what it is. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. And of course, Savannah is actually sleeping right now, and she is sleeping on her Boppy Lounger. Like I said, that is a must-have. You need that. You're not supposed to let your baby sleep in it. At least I don't think, like overnight, I mean. But when she's like taking naps and I'm right next to her, I let her sleep in it. So I'm gonna show you a clip of her, of course. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Somebody's tired. So yeah, I put the cloth diaper under her, because when she spits up, it catches it. Because these don't have the removable cover. So there she is, little feet.